do my Chris Russo Mad Dog there. I've always wanted to do that. So still waiting for him to be a guest here. But what is going on? Busy, busy day. If you don't think people are listening to our show, ask the Anaheim Angels. As Joe Madden has left the building. I talked about that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Talked about it this morning with our buddy, the real Vegas Dave Sharapan. And guess what? Joe has exited the building. Now, does that mean the Angels are the play today? Well, I don't know who undecided is. I don't know if Scott's got some numbers on undecided. I did like Detmers there initially. Whitlock's been okay. He's been doing well. But, of course, the Angels can't hit. Our only play and our only loss yesterday was the Angels' first five. First inning, Trout breaks the 0 for 26 with a single. Shoei gets on with a single, and then a line-out double play. Thanks for playing. Error in the second inning, 1-0. Thanks for playing. And Walker, complete game. Waiting for a regression there. That's the third complete game for the Red Sox this year. But I'm going to stop talking because I don't know if Scotty's got anything with 2 games about to start at 6:40. If he doesn't, we'll talk for a minute. How's that? Without further ado, from the Palm Tree State himself, the one and only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Afternoon, Scotty.
Hey, Jeff. And the answer is no. I don't have anybody at 6:40. I was gonna look at, and I gotta lean here, but I'm not playing it. I like Miami against Washington today at 6:40. I don't like Adon at all. It's a play against Adon, and I don't know if you've ever seen Cabrera and see what he is or what he does. He's just another one of those guys that they have that's a big flamethrower that goes out there, gets a lot of strikeouts. The problem that I had, and the reason why I don't want to do it is because you're going to have to bet him on the run line. And then he's 6 walks per 9 innings guy. So he's a lot of velocity, but he's not a lot of control. So I decided that it probably wasn't in my best interest to play that game. And then the second one, I don't mind betting against Gilbert for Arizona because he's not very good. And I think Ashcraft's pretty good for Cincinnati. There's another one of those 100-mile-an-hour guys. But he hasn't had a bad game yet. And I just don't like to step out there when these kids get up there. And I know he's had 3 or 4 good starts. So it's regression city for that guy. And I'm not going to step in front of him. Now, he may pitch really good today, and it may be worth the value to go in there. But holy shit, he's minus 150 or 154, some shit like that. I mean, are you kidding me? It says Cincinnati Reds, for God's sakes, and they're minus 150 with the guy you never heard of on the mound before. That's enough. I am not doing that shit either. So the 6:40 games, I'm passing on. I am playing 7 o'clock games though.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute. Is obviously, Friday and Saturday, we talked about Joe Girardi. We talked about the Phillies winning the first 2 games Friday and Saturday. We were on them Friday. On Sunday, the unexpected happened, a grand slam in the 8th, a walk-off 3-run in the 9th. And they let Joe come home, sleep in his own bed. And the overnight number, which you and I discussed at length, 130 or 135, Syndergaard over Walker. The morning line at minus 120, the closing line at about minus 110. You talked about how anemic the Angels' offense was. We both expected bounce backs from Syndergaard. I don't think we could have, between the two of us, handicapped a better game. I mean, we were spot on everything. I think the one thing that probably surprised us both was Walker. I mean, and the kid's been lights out. A steal. We don't like to give credit to the GMs. We like to shit on them. We like to, talk about all the moves they don't make and all this, that, bad contracts, yada, yada, yada. But they got him off the scrap heap with Rich Hill. Pavetta looks like the kid that came up when he was a rookie from the Phillies. And you know what? I talked about the Sox who now have a 1.5 lead on the 3rd wild card spot. Have you taken a look? They're like 3.5 back of the Rays and 4 games back of the Jays now.
Yeah, it's you got to keep an eye on things, right? Because streaks matter, and I can't, I don't know how to say this, so I'll just say it this way. Um, every season at the beginning of the season, we talk about betting on streaks. Baseball is 162 games. The very best teams in baseball, teams that win 100 games, are going to lose 4 or 5 in a row. They are. And that's when you want to bet against them because you can make some serious money. So you got to follow these streaks. Teams that lose 100 games, they're going to lose 8 games in a row, 6 games in a row, and they're going to do that 2 or 3 or 4 times during the season. These teams are going to win and they're going to lose, and they play in streaks. They don't. It's not back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday in terms of the hitters. Hitters do the same thing. They get hot for a little while and then they cool down real fast. So if you are analyzing these baseball games and you are using data, full season data, just throw it out the window because it doesn't make any sense. If I can teach anybody anything about baseball betting, and if you're a data guy like I am, and you want to use stats and things to break down the games, you can do all of that stuff, but you got to use the right stuff. I don't know how many times I hear this, and it makes me just puke because these are seasoned veteran handicappers that have done baseball handicapping for millions of years. I don't know if that's really true, but they've done it for a long time anyway. And they get on the airwaves and they start talking about, well, this guy's 10-1. Okay, well, who gives a rat's ass? I want to know what he did in the last 4 games, what he's done in the last 5 games, what he's done in the last month, because that's the stuff that's relevant. It has to be relevant information. And I know why they do it. And I know what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you that the data is only as good as the amount of data that you can have to provide validity to what the information is. And that's why they go back so far. It's like in football, right? You got the football. You can't tell me that a certain defense is going to be the greatest defense in the world after 2 games, right? You can't do it. And I get that. And it's the same kind of concept that these guys have with baseball. But that's 100% not true. In baseball, what you want to look for is you've got to get baseball batters in the last 7 days. That's all you care about. What have they done in the last 7 days? Who cares what they've done in a month? Because in that month, there might be 1 week in there that they didn't do very well, and the other 3 weeks they've done great. And one of them was before the time that you're looking at them. So it impacts wins and losses on a daily basis, right? Relief pitchers, you got to give relief pitchers 14 days. That's because they pitch about every other day or so. And if they get beat up in one game, that can really throw off the numbers and throw off the stats and so forth. So you got to give them at least 14 days. And starting pitchers, you got to give them 30 days. So that's how I look at it. And it took me a long time to get those numbers and be accurate with the information because you can do a lot with that number. And you can utilize that information and go, yep, this is where they're at. This is what they're doing. And you can bank on. I remember John Lester. John Lester is a perfect example of this. Every year, John Lester goes out and he's virtually a 20-game winner. He didn't win 20 games every year, but he pitched 20 games. So he's going to win a lot. But there are stretches where John Lester would go 3 weeks and not win any games and be like, who in the hell is this guy? And when he's on that streak, you can bet against him because the numbers didn't change. He was a big favorite, and you can bet against him, and you can win those games against him. And that's the same thing that applies all the time in baseball. So baseball is all about what have you done for me lately? And if you keep that in your mind when you're handicapping these games, you'll understand that it doesn't matter what they did in April. It really doesn't matter what they've done in May. Shit, we're in June now. So it does really matter where these guys are right now, right here. And I know Joe Madden got fired today. And I don't like it when anybody gets fired and loses their job, but God damn it. He needed to go. and so does the guy in Chicago. So Tony La Russa, you better start puckering up and getting your shit to go over in the White Sox land, or you're gone.
Well, I won't start that call yet, because my honest 2 cents is this: is I think the White Sox will be afraid because they made the playoffs last year with this guy sleepwalking, literally taking naps in the dugout. And I think that they're going to try to get some guys back, get them healthy. They think that eventually they could catch Minnesota, get into the playoffs. This is his last year. The curious one will be Mattingly with the Marlins. Do they want a veteran there just to work with the kids one more year to take one for the team? He won't be back next year either. So I'll keep my mouth closed. I was number one on the Madden list. Everyone thought I was crazy. They'll never cut Joe. No, he won a World Series. He stopped the curse in Chicago. Bullshit. It's a what have you done for me lately? If you start losing the clubhouse, that's the first step right there. And he was losing the clubhouse. With that said, full slate in front of you, my brother. Take it away.
All right. So I said I wasn't going to do the 640 games, and they're both in the National League. So I'm going to jump right over to the American League here. And this is 9-13, 9-14. This is the Yankees. And this is Tyon against Sands. Now, the Yankees, they've been really good on offense lately. And you just got to be careful in knowing what you're doing when you're betting the Yankees, right? So you got to understand they're not a team that's going to go out and get 13 hits and 8 runs. They're a team that's going to go out and get 6 hits and 8 runs because they get walks and they get home runs, and that's kind of how they do it. So they got a really, 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 I don't know how to say this, but a really, really, really big advantage today. Of all the 30 pitchers going, the number 30 pitcher today in terms of metrics, in terms of xFIP Sierra numbers, 5.92, 5.98. That's the worst on the board. Go ahead.
I just want breaking in case anyone, and I thought this was the sucker play of the day. I thought the public play of the day was the Tigers with Skubal. I just got from Don Best.
Peralta
is now in for Skubal.
Yeah, that's a big change. So I mean, that's a big difference. Peralta is not Skubal, because I was gonna talk to you about Skubal. I had a big thing about Skubal, damn it. So Cole Sands, that's the guy's pitcher for if you see C Sands and don't know his name is Cole Sands. 5.92, 5.98 xFIP in Sierra. He's a strikeout guy, but he's not a very good guy in terms of command. 9 walks per 9 innings, so he walks everybody. Batting average against 294, whip rate 2.25. So he hasn't pitched much. Let me click on him. He hasn't pitched that much. He has 1 game started. He went 8 innings in that game, 9 hits, 7 runs. So that's not very good. That's not true. He pitched 4 innings in the start. He's got 8 total innings pitched. So he pitched in relief a couple times. So this is a guy who's got good strikeout stuff. His earned run average is 788. Not that I look at that, but for those of you out there that still look at those numbers, he's hittable. So and then that brings up Tyon, who's been great, and
Tyon,
and he is facing a Minnesota Twins team that it's about middle of the pack right now. They're not the most successful team in the world, and if you know anything about this series, the Yankees always beat the Twins. They just always beat them. So I like the Yankees in this game. But you can only play it in the run line. So run line's -1.5, and I'm okay with that because of the way Tyon's been pitching and limiting runs and the way the Yankees offense has been. So it's -1.5 plus 100. So I thought that was a pretty good number. I'm not paying a bunch of price for that. So I was okay with that. But Jeff, Skubal's going to pitch. I don't know why they kicked him out of the game. I don't know if he's got sick or these guys wake up and they got a stiff back and they can't do much. But I wanted to tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in his last 5 starts, 5 for Skubal, he has 4 of those 5 times he's allowed 0 runs. 4 of the last 5 times, 0 runs. He's allowed 3 runs in those 5 games, and it was all against Cleveland on May the 26th. And he has found it, and he is like rock solid. He's great. So if you can get Skubal at minus 120, I don't care who he's pitching against, you got to take him. And I know, and I get it. It was the what did you call it? The public play of the day or something. Look, I can't argue with a guy that's that good. He has also, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's made 10 starts. 5 of the 10 starts, he's allowed 0 runs, and he's allowed 1, 2. He allowed 1 or 2 runs in 2 other ones. So 7 of his 10 starts, he's allowed 2 runs or less. That's pretty damn good. His game scores a 62. That's ace-like. That's as best as you're going to get. So I'm real good with Tariq Skubal as a pitcher. The problem that you run into is do you bet the under when he pitches? Because Jesus Christ, the Detroit can't hit their way out of a damn paper bag. I mean, they're just terrible. They're I mean, holy cap. I don't know. The other thing. So anyway, that takes care of that. Peralta. I don't know. It doesn't look like the numbers changed. Have you seen the numbers change since Peralta's been
at Westgate? At Westgate, it changed.
I see.
Pittsburgh
Okay,
minus 108. Is that Willie Peralta?
Well, there's 2 Peraltas, but yes, it's Willie Peralta. Then there's a Wandy Peralta.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is Willie, not Wandy. I think Wandy pitches for the Yankees, to be honest. So
is this the Willie Peralta that used to pitch for the Brewers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that's another one that we should talk about, and I don't know how much time we've got before the next game, but the Brewers, that was what did you tell me when you were out in Vegas that everybody was on the Brewers for the over and winning the championship and all that shit?
I'm sitting at the Bellagio. I have my East Coast Sports Investors shirt on, and I'm not exaggerating. I had 6 different people come up to me and ask me, if you want the lock, I know what you do for business. I know all about you and your business, yada, yada, yada. The Brewers are the lock. 100%. They're printing money. I had 2 people say they're printing money. Brewers, go get it.
Okay, well, so the Brewers are built on what? Pitching.
Starting pitching.
What happens when 2 of your 3 guys that you're counting on for pitching aren't there no more? Woodruff and Peralta are gone.
You need to hope that the back end gets even stronger.
Well, so this provides St. Louis with the chance now, and I think this is where St. Louis, if St. Louis was smart, and I'm not saying they're not, I'm just saying if they were smart, they'd go do whatever it takes to get whatever they think they need. And in my opinion, they need an ace. They need a pitcher, but you can't just go out and go get an ace. I mean, you got to give up the world to get an ace. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know when Jack Flaherty's going to come back, but it's one of these spots where they need to get somebody that can compete at the number ones. When the number ones battle, they need a guy that can fight that. But anyway,
Montas is still available. They're going to wait till the deadline because they're going to get a king's ransom. And now with the Sox on this run here, I don't think my Evaldi talk, because they were hot and heavy for Bogarts. That's who they wanted, not just for this year. They wanted to extend them. That was going to be their shortstop moving forward. Again, Flaherty, we don't know when he was coming back. But so my Evaldi move probably is not going to happen. But the only move right now would be Montas.
Yeah, but I don't consider Montas an ace. He's a good number 2. He might even be a good number 3 on some teams that have really good pitchers. But hey, George, thanks for the comment. By the way, I appreciate it. Anyway, so moving on. So I've only gone over the one game I bet on. Shit, I didn't get this show moving a little faster. All right, so Detroit, Pittsburgh, we're not going into. Where else am I at? 7:00, 7:40. That was that game. So 8:00 game, huh?
I just got Scooble for Fado, so I don't know if Fado was scheduled for tomorrow. So if that's the case, they just moved Scooble to Tuesday. Wednesday.
I think they just moved him back a start. I don't know. Fado's no good anyway. So, the Detroit's got some Detroit has good young pitchers, man. They're just not healthy. Was that kid Wise or whatever the heck his name is? Can't think of it right off the top of my head, but that kid is not pitching. Manning's not pitching. And you put those guys back out there and they're in these games that they can't score runs in. But so Philadelphia play these 8:00 games. You're missing anybody? No. Okay. So yeah, missing one. 7:20, 7:10. These are the internet. Okay. So Cubs, Baltimore. This is an interesting game to me because it's a flip of the coin, and I think it really is a flip of the coin game. So what you have is Bradish, who's been pitching really good. And I don't think you can say that very often about many Baltimore pitchers. Of course, I said that about a week ago when Wells was pitching for him, and he did really good, and then he got bombed. So Bradish is supposed to pitch pretty good today, and Thompson has been pitching decent for the Cubs. The difference, though, in the game is that the Cubs are hitting and Baltimore's not. So what do you do? Do you take the offense or do you take the pitcher? And in a game like this, I'd take the home team just because it's their more familiarity. They got the better pitcher, and then hope to scratch off a few runs. But I'm not playing it. But that's kind of how I view the game. The next one's kind of go ahead.
Two things. With the Peralta move, minus 115 right now for Pittsburgh and Quintana. TJ, you were talking about that. So if you already got that game in and you just got it in action, you got a nice CLV. And also Suarez will be the starter today for the Angels versus Whitlock. Current line, Red Sox minus 134.
Well, keep in mind Suarez is a number 5. He's not a number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. So he's very hittable. And Whitlock, he's been kind of, I would say Whitlock hasn't been the best starter. He's been better. He was better in the bullpen. So it doesn't mean his stuff's bad. It just it maybe just doesn't fit the right role. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Hudson and Springs is kind of an interesting game to me. This is St. Louis and Tampa Bay. Hudson's off a really good start. And Hudson's the worst pitcher St. Louis has. He's extremely hittable. And out of 30 pitchers, he's the 29th ranked pitcher going today. So that tells me that Tampa Bay really has an advantage in this game. But I would also tell you that Springs is left-handed. So they got St. Louis's offense going against left-handed pitcher. And you know what that means? That's almost an auto play on St. Louis. And here you go. You got that spot. So I didn't go into this game only because I don't think St. Louis has played in Tampa very often. And if you're not there, you're not used to that little stadium and all the craziness that is the Tampa, whatever it is, St. Petersburg Dome, Tropicana Field. It can be kind of a bad place to play for the first time you've been there. So I didn't take this, but if I was going to, I would play St. Louis today because I think that you're getting a better value for what you're getting. The problem is that Hudson can get hit, but Tampa Bay's not really been scoring runs. They haven't been hitting. So I expect Hudson to get hit because he pitched a good game the last time out. But I did play the next game. This is 9:27, 9:28. This is Oakland and this is Atlanta. And I think Atlanta's waking up. They've won 5 straight games. Their offense is now where is it? Their offense is now 5th. So they got the 5th best offense going the last 7 days. They're playing Oakland, and Oakland is the 26th best offense. Wright is on the mound today against Irvin. It's got a left-handed pitcher, and Atlanta is 5th against left-handed pitchers again on the season. So I like the offense matchup, and I know Wright's the better pitcher. So if I'm looking at this right, I can take Atlanta. I don't want to go the first 5 innings because Oakland's doesn't have a good bullpen either. So I like the idea that I can stretch this out and go -1.5, and it's -128. So I like Atlanta today minus the 128 on the run line. So I played that one, and then the next game is 9:29, 9:30, and this game goes at 8:10. This is the Dodgers and the White Sox. Now, if you remember our conversation yesterday a lot about Syndergaard, and we talked about he was good, he was bad, he was good, he was bad, and if I told you that if I told you Kopech threw a game score, where is he? Kopech, where'd you go? There you are. So if I said Kopech, his last time out, he threw a game score 13. What do you think he should throw today?
Mid to high 60s.
Yeah, he should be good today. So I get it. It's the Dodgers, and I get it. The Dodgers can hit. But if you look at where they're at right now, the Dodgers offense is 16th. And if I were to tell you that the Chicago White Sox offense was 10th, you'd probably shit your pants. But that's where they are. The White Sox are 10th, the Dodgers are 16th, and the White Sox have the better pitcher, yet you're still getting you got the dog. So give me Kopech, give me the plus 115 today, and I'm good with that number. Now, the only other thing that you want to look at, because the only thing that I was thinking about with that particular game is that one, and I shouldn't have done it that way. It's a first 5 game. I'm not playing them full game because your advantage is Kopech over White. It's not White Sox bullpen over Dodgers bullpen. So I did first 5 plus 115 because White's minus 125 at Circa. All right. Anything else on the board that I missed? 8 o'clock games. All right. So Ranger Suarez against Alexander. I don't know if people know who Alexander is. So let me give you a little bit of a breakdown on Alexander. He is because when I looked him up, his name is Jason Alexander, by the way, and he's pitched more than I thought he did. He pitched 1 game, and it was against the Cubs. It was on June 1st, so that was the fill-in for Woodruff or Peralta, one of the two. Anyway, he threw a game score of 55. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he's not a strikeout guy. So that means balls are going to be put in play, and that's Philadelphia. And if you've heard me over the last couple of weeks, one of the setbacks that Milwaukee has is when they face left-handed pitchers. Milwaukee is 28th in Major League Baseball at hitting left-handed pitchers. And for a playoff team, that's just terrible. So that, in my mind, says, okay, Alexander pitched probably better than maybe what he should. Philadelphia is on a little bit of a roll, and you got a left-handed pitcher. Give me Philadelphia, but I didn't bet it. So that's kind of how I looked at that one. Here you got the Mets in San Diego. I don't want to take San Diego as the favorite. I liked them as the dog the other day, won that one. I'm sorry, when the Mets were the dog, and I won that one. That was last night. I don't want to take Walker. I don't like Walker. He's done better than I thought he would do. He does better than what his numbers indicate that he's going to do. But Darvish is one of those guys that, man, he needs to be on, or if he's not, he gets hit a little bit. So the Mets are a team that is, you put 9 guys up there, and all 9 guys work together to score runs. And the last one is Marquez and Rodon. And Rodon's been a disappointment as far as I'm concerned for the Giants. They paid him big money. He goes out there, he throws. First 4 or 5 games have been real good with great numbers. If you bet on Rodon, he's I think the worst number of terms of minus money of all of them. But I can't bet Marquez either because Marquez, I think his arm fell off. So something wrong with him. So I think I'm just passing on that one. And I don't think I missed any of the other games, Jeff. I think that's how I see the board today.
You know,
we have 3 plays.
the amazing thing is, Mr. Lucky talked about it. All our shows, A, are unscripted, and B, we don't talk before the shows. I don't know what your plays are. You don't know what my plays are. The
Correct.
VIPs know what their plays are. And it's so nice when we're on the same sides. And that's why I was blowing the horn. And then you threw me a little curveball. But the way my eyes saw it, starting from the top, I like the first 5 edge with the Phillies. And if you go deeper inside, you'll see that the Milwaukee Brewers opened up -115, -117 full game. What's the bad thing about the Phillies? The back end. Well, look at the first 5. Suarez and the Phillies are favored -115. So I think you get the edge there. You don't have to lay a half run. You take them in the first 5. Hope Suarez is Suarez, and you put a couple runs up there, and then it doesn't matter what happens from the 6th on there. Mets San Diego. I was talking to our buddy Billy, and he liked San Diego yesterday. I says the Mets team, I take my hat off to them. They lost the first 2 of the Dodgers, and they won the next 2. In comes Carrasco, 6-1. I have not been a part of any one of his games. And what do? They go out and beat him again. He leads the majors and wins with 7. I said to him, if you didn't take the Mets yesterday, you can't take them today. I'm not a Walker fan, like he says. I think the Padres answer back, but I'm not going to pay the tax with Darvish at -128. Colorado, San Fran, again, can't get in there. Texas, Cleveland, no thanks. I thought the tally on Minnesota game, I thought the number opened at 150 overnight. I thought it was a little low. I thought they were looking for Yankee money. The Yankees are just currently a whopping 39-15, 24 games over 500. I said the only side that you could play in my eyes is Minnesota. We passed. Italian has got us the last couple of times. Thanks, but no thanks there. Toronto, Kansas City, we're big Manoah fans. Obviously, would try to get in there first 5 minus the hook. You're paying too big of a tax. Same with Flexen and Verlander. The funny thing with Verlander tonight is if you look at the full game minus a run and a half, it's only -115. It opened at 120. I think the public will be all in on that play. I'm going to back off there. Whitlock and Suarez, Madden fired. You're supposed to play the Angels today. I won't, obviously. We did it with the Phillies. I'm going to pass to see what happens overnight there. Peralta switched in for Skubal. No thanks. No thanks on Thompson and Bradish. I liked Tampa Bay today. I like the fact that they opened -145. That's a statement in my eyes in Vegas. I am not a Hudson fan, but before pulling that trigger, minus a half run, first 5, lefty versus St. Louis, I passed. But I do lean Tampa first 5 and full game minus the hook. Actually, first 5 minus the hook was where I was leaning there. Oakland, Atlanta are spot on. Offenses got it back together. Mr. Bill, the Atlanta Braves, I'm not saying are back, but I think they're back tonight. I have them minus the run and a half, minus the 128 as you. Further looking at the Dodgers and White Sox, Dodgers opened up at 130 and minus 119 full game. If you look at the first 5, Dodgers were still favored by like minus 120, 125. But if you look at the first 5 compared to the full game, I thought that actually some sharper money was coming in on White Sox full game. We grabbed them plus the 109 in the full game. Now, I'll be kicking myself in the you-know-what if they have the first 5 lead and their bullpen falters. I'm hoping the bullpen is what it used to be or what it was supposed to be there. Right now, currently, Cleveland, 6-3 lead, bottom of the 8th, Quantrill versus Gray there. In the hockey, guys, very simply this, so far it's been a series of the home teams. Can't get into minus 170. Let me get the exact number right now. Minus 176, can't get in there. So the only way you're going to get in there is 2 ways. If you like Tampa tonight, you play them in regulation this morning, and overnight it was minus 120. I don't know where that has gone to. If you want a little real sweat, you take them on the puck line. You're going to get yourself plus 140, 150 there. Closing thoughts, Scott.
Yeah, I just looked it up. We talked about Rodon. Rodon is if you bet him all his games, you're down 3.71 units for the ace of the Giants. And I will tell you, the guy that's So the guy that keeps talking about trade talks, Frankie Montas, he's got 12 starts. He's minus 7.91 units. 7.91 units, Jeff. That's not very good. And then you got the guy that's leading the pack. He's pitching tonight. Yoan Adon from Washington, minus 919. So there you go. You lose $1,000 betting on that guy, and he's only pitched 11 games. So that's not very good. And the guy that's leading the pack in money, Paul Blackburn from Oakland, 7.94 units, followed by Joe Musgrove at 6.77 units. And Musgrove, I got to be honest, I knew Musgrove was good last year, but I didn't expect Musgrove to be the ace of the goddamn Padres, especially after they put all those guys together and said, "Here's Darvish and here's Snell," and they bring in the other guy from Cleveland, Clevenger, and they can't even get the lefty, they can't even get Gore out on the mound because they got so many damn pitchers, and Musgrove becomes the best of all of them. And then you sit here and go, well, what did the Pirates get for him? Because Jesus Christ, he was a Pirate, and the Pirates could use a guy like that right now. Anyway, food for thought is, baseball's an ever-changing game. It's I don't want to call it turmoil because it's not. It's streaks, and keep an eye on the streaks. Bet on the streaks. You don't want to bet against the streaks, and don't let anybody tell you they know when the streak's going to end because they're full of shit. Streaks can go 18 games. They can go 6 games. They can go whatever. So just let it happen. But when you're riding the streak, ride it to the end. Just ride it and ride. Think about that. If you had a team that lost 18 straight times and you bet against them 18 straight times, that's 18 winners. And when they win, you just lose once. Okay, I'll go 18-1. You know what I mean? I'll go 12-1. I'll go 10-1. And you can do that over and over and over and over. You can do it over and over and over. It's baseball, man. So here's a little trick. When a team hits 3-3, that's how they start to build the streak. Because there's not that many 5-game, 6-game, 7-game streaks. There's really not. There's a lot of 3-game streaks, both winning and losing. So when it's at 3, you got to make your decision whether you're going to start riding the streak or lose, and then ride it as long as you can. It doesn't count at 2 because 2 is not a streak. 2 is just what do they call that? A coincidence or whatever it is. So as you keep going, you got to get to 3, and then on the 4th game, right? You got to make your decision on whether you're going to actually ride the streak or not. Anyway, food for thought.
A couple of the AAA games that have been canceled: Buffalo Bisons against the Worcester Red Sox and the Syracuse Mets against Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And the reason I'm saying that is obviously there's some rain up in the New York area heading east for tomorrow. For me, I just want to go back to yesterday. A real short menu. NBA was off. I think we had 6 baseball games. And then we had one of the hockey games, the over and the Avs. ECSI VIPs, congrats. Plus 130, 135 on the Avs to win the West, sitting with a plus 330 or 335 of them to win the Cup. But my thought was, listen, don't force it. I always talk about a square peg in a round hole. And it's the new start of the week. So all these guys on credit with $1,000, $2,000 credit limits for the week, see maybe a bad week, or maybe you had a great week, and then you get into that, you see the full credit limit, and it's a short menu, and I don't want the kids in the candy store effect. It was not a great board. We thought we saw some good eyes and value on the Angels' first 5. We were wrong. We lost 1-0 on an error. It happened, but we lose 111 for the day. But now today the board opened up. So as the week progresses, the board opens up. You get better opportunities, more chances to swing, and obviously more chances to swing and miss as well. So again, remember, it's a marathon. We don't talk to hear ourselves talk. We're here to try to educate. And tonight was a great job. A lot of viewers. And thanks to George for the great comment. We're here to answer questions. We're here to take your thoughts. You have a question on the game, I'll break it down. Scott will break it down. are exact opposites. He does his thing. I do my thing. But when the siren goes off, that means we're both on the same side. And again, I don't know his place. He doesn't know my place. This is unscripted. Almost 400 shows right now on our YouTube channel, 350, 60, 70. I don't know. I don't keep track anymore. The fact of the matter is every one of them is unscripted. Okay. I don't send Scott an email saying, all right, this is the play. This is what you got to say. This is from the heart, from the head. So thank you guys. With that said, if you are wagering tonight investing, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb at Webby20MLB. We wish everyone a blessed evening. Enjoy the games. Have some fun. Cash a few tickets and come back and see us in the morning.